I am Bob.
I'm Carrie.
This is 25 Plus Life, and today we are in Swansea, New Hampshire.
Why?
And why would we be in New Hampshire? Well, one, because our home base is quite close, and two, it's 50 degrees on a beautiful spring day with the snow on the ground and the sun in the sky. Behind us is the Thompson Bridge. This here is a wooden covered bridge, one of many in the state of New Hampshire. And we decided after talking to some subscribers that when things came up, what's it like to home base in New Hampshire? It must be great with moose, bears, and bridges. Well, we've never seen a moose.
No.
We have had bears in the yard.
Yep.
And bridges we see every day. And we decided that, you know, that is something that we take for granted, being here and traveling over these bridges.
Don't even think of it.
And it's one of the things that really brought us here in the first place. Carrie and I left our home in Connecticut about 15 years ago and ventured up here on an endeavor that has altered who we are. It has altered the state of our family. It's a much slower pace of life up here. One that we, no matter how much we travel, come to appreciate whenever we're home. Which brings us to that part. If you are new to the channel, what we do is we travel the country with our Winnebago in tow. We stop at places like this. We stop at state parks. We stop anywhere that we find is interesting, because after being married for 28 years, we need to find some excitement because she gets bored of me otherwise.
See, that's kind of not right, though, because it honestly doesn't feel like 28 years.
It doesn't feel like 28
really
years.
Doesn't.
And it's funny with our kids being grown now, and as we hit the road more, we find out that, you know, it's kind of like on some levels we've only been married for a little while. So it's a pretty neat way to share what we do. We're going to take you over this bridge and probably a couple of more today in New Hampshire, and we're going to show you what makes these bridges unique to us, and we're going to kind of rediscover for ourselves what having them is like. Let me tell you something, folks. It may be 50 degrees out, but that ice is no joke. It's pretty slippery. But we'll take you up here, some of these walkways here, and show you this bridge. Now this one here is the Thompson Bridge. It was built in 1832. Now, I've alluded to this in other portions of this video, that there is a state law that's up above on all the bridges, and I use the term law loosely, is that it's a $5 fine for traveling over these bridges on anything faster than a walking pace. As I shot the bridge from the front here, as you can see, that never happens. And a running joke is I could quit all forms of revenue intake by simply collecting the fines that people owe for crossing these bridges. But this here is passengers' cars only. Pickup trucks are allowed. You cannot tow your Winnebago or anything over this.
No.
It is a one-lane bridge, and it has a weight limit of a now 3-ton, I believe. This used to have a higher capacity at one time and has been lowered. But it will take you through here. This is the pedestrian walkway, which goes over the Ashwaubenon River. I believe that is the right river. As you can see, the construction formats. And just the charm of these bridges.
Well, like I see and stuff, but that is still.
And how they have the wooden pegs alongside the metal bowling. And just the amount of, we don't condone this in any way, but the amount of people who have taken to put in their initials, and whether or not PM and ES are still together, who knows, or if the FBI was truly here. But it shows you the amount of people who have spent time on this bridge and the stories. It wouldn't be New Hampshire without a big truck with a big exhaust. Yeah, it just shows you the amount of people that have come through here, the stories, the history of this bridge and this river alone. That park where we started the video from, all those memorial benches for firefighters, fallen firefighters, of the Ashluit Fire Department, which is right up here.
See, it looks like there's fishing out there too. There's a bridge,
There's
like right to the edge.
Yeah, all through here is fishing. A lot of good fishing from what I've been told. I've actually never fished through here, but nonetheless, a loud bridge. The amount of traffic that comes over here. This is over by the Homestead Woolen Mills Dam. We have a water pump, and again, bridge of 1832. I'm going to cross the street and try to get some shot of the other side as we catch the old mill. And it's funny to see just how much traffic these bridges handle every single day. The amount is just absolutely crazy. So here I'm just going to pull up into this, and let's see. So originally, again, this bridge was built in 1832, and according to the signage that's here, was reconstructed in 1993 by the town of Swansea and some partners. Being careful here because apparently a lot of people have walked a lot of dogs right in that area, and they all stop to take and admire the bridge. I don't know if you caught that. I don't know the way to put it. There was a lot of dog poop, but this here, see the backside of the old mill. And we're going to try to beat feet in here, give you a view of the inside of this bridge and the actual construction, what it's like to come through here. That's something that I advise doing. But this is the other side of that pedestrian. That's Carrie running. This here is the inside. The things we'll do to make a video. It reminds us, if you have seen a couple of videos, or you see anything in this video that you like, take the time to give us a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, turn on the little notification bell that tells you
Ding, 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 ding.
when we've uploaded another video, which we try to do weekly. And let us know in the comments below if you'd like to see more things in New Hampshire, or if you'd like to see more of our RV travel videos. We like this community to be about what everybody likes and not just what we decide to shoot that day. Because sometimes we run out of ideas. If you know anything about these bridges that we left out that we could have included, please also let us know below. You can also contact us anytime via email at 25pluslife@gmail.com. You can also hit us up on Instagram at 25pluslife. There's also some Facebook. There's a whole bunch of ways to get a hold of us. I'll let the kids figure that out. But this here again, the Ashluit River is a New Hampshire protected river. So that being done, we're going to go find another covered bridge. I believe is the Coombs Bridge.
Yep.
We're going to go check that out. And then we have the what's billed as the most elaborate bridge in New Hampshire, which is the Ashluit Bridge back down in Ashluit. So stick around. This is a covered bridge in Swansea, New Hampshire. As a matter of fact, this is the Slate Bridge. This is what, the third time this bridge has been rebuilt. We're going to stop through here. I think the latest one was in 2001. The original bridge here was built around 1800, and then again in 1840, and then apparently in 1987, and then in 1987 a snowplow took this out. They fixed that, and then what happened? The bridge burnt down. What we're going to do is we're just going to walk you through. I'm going to try to show you as much as we can because it gets incredibly dark in here because there's no lighting of any kind. I believe at night there's some lights that come over. That's about it. Plus, there's no pedestrian walkways. You're kind of at the mercy of the traffic stopping there. So we're going to kind of boogie through. You can catch as much of the video as possible. But now, if we don't get run over, this is going to be a miracle. All right. So this bridge covers over here. And yeah, as with all bridges that are covered in New Hampshire, there's a $5 fine for going more than a walk. And let me tell you, I think I've said it before, I'll say it again, if I had the idea to put a toll booth at the end, I tag all these people that come flying over these bridges. But very nice bridges, very well constructed.
Third time's the charm.
And this one third or fourth, depending on the history of this bridge. You can see. One of the crazy things about it is there is no windows. There's no lighting in it, and mostly because of the way the winds come through here. This keeps the snow and all that stuff out. So yeah, so that's basically this bridge here, which is, I'm really hoping the camera picks that up because it is a very well constructed bridge. And when they did this, they tried to stick to the original building method as much as possible. And so, yeah, it's crazy. Trying to film some of these things is crazy around this time. But yeah, very well done. This is number 4, I believe, on the state registry list of covered bridges. So we're going to go and take you onto the other side of Swansea, New Hampshire, and show you the next one. Let's do it. All right, so now we are at the Coombs Bridge in Swansea. This one here is a little bit smaller, not as ornate as the other one. This one here was originally built in 1836.
37.
37. See, this is why I keep carrying around. 1837, and it was fully rehabbed in 1971. This thing spans 106 feet. As you can see, nice wooden. This one here, not exposed to the elements, does again the crossing Ashuelot River, which you can see the construction here, and most of this here on the outside being enclosed to keep some of the weather elements out. See again here, the roofing and more vehicles, and I bet you anything. Oh, this one here might slow down just enough that we don't get crushed. This here does have some, like a nice window opening on this side here. And kudos to the person in the truck that is waiting for us to cross. I really appreciate that. As you can see, this here has a slightly higher capacity than the bridge prior at 6 tons capacity. This here little river, as you can see, all the markings here.
And it still doesn't have the name. Like this one doesn't have the name.
And this one here, not clearly identified, but you can see it's in a residential neighborhood. And it covers this span of water. Really, really cool. As we said in the top of the video, these are the bridges that make New Hampshire special. These are the things that you see here that New Hampshire and Vermont, I will say, that this is everyday life. These are people that are using this bridge every single day. We cross this bridge not as often because it's in an indirect path, but there's sometimes we just don't want to deal with the main road. We will take this way home, and we've come over this bridge. It's great. And again, all the people that have carved their names, and I don't advocate doing this, all the people have taken the time to carve their names, their relationships into these bridges. It shows you that many people, and not just motor vehicles, have passed. Hello, I found you.
Hi.
So as we head here, this is again just an example of small town living in Vermont and New Hampshire. We have Vermont in the brain today. Vermont is only about 10 minutes in that direction. So, but it is a very common misconception that Vermont has these bridges and nowhere else has. In New Hampshire, literally, there's tons of them throughout here. Well, we're going to take you down now into Ashluit. We're going to show you what they call the most elaborate one. I mentioned this earlier. This is the granddaddy of them all. The big bridge, the big kahuna. And we're going to take you over there. We're going to show you that one.
You leave me speechless.
I leave her speechless and a lot of other things. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Me.
I do appreciate you. You know that? I do.
I know.
And just like that, like a mystery machine going through time, we're in Ashluit. This here is the old Ashluit train depot, which is pretty cool in itself, but that's not why we're here. Right next to the politics-free zone is the Ashluit covered bridge. This bridge, built in 1864, and is considered the most elaborate bridge. Gary,
Yes.
in the New Hampshire covered bridge system. Pretty interesting.
Pretty.
This was built to carry lumber across the Ashluit River to over here. I'm going to walk you down the pedestrian side here, get a view of this. The construction. And this here is the Ashluit River. This bridge is unique out of the bridges that we've seen today, as this has pedestrian walkways on both sides of the bridge. This here is a heavily traveled bridge, and this is one of the only ways from 119 over to where everybody lives on this side. So this sees a lot of action and is always in great shape. A little dirty, could use a power washing, but that's okay. You see here, all wood floor. We're gonna give you. Look at that. It's a truss beam construction. I'm not much of a bridge historian. I'm going to leave links below so on each one of these bridges so you can get a little more information. I'm just someone who appreciates a good covered bridge. The construction, all the original wooden pegs, along with the metal rods that have been added. Very interesting. This here even has steps that go down into the water from the main road. Living in this area, it is not uncommon for this little area on the side of the road to be packed with people that want to come down and just rest. There's also a lot of kayaks that get launched out of here. I have not done it because I know what's on the other end. I'm going to take you down there and show you the view from the road. You just want to watch your step.
Yeah, I see that.
Carrie does not get along with ice very well. Anything ice or slush, but again, today, weather is beautiful, 50 degrees. All this mud and the ice and the snow going away. But this here is what it's all about. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to see, I have my hiking boots on. I'm going to see how close we can get down here. I'll take you down, right down to the riverbank. And see what we can see here. Look at that. You get an idea what that is like underneath. And all the water that runs through here every day. And again, that is the old train station, train depot off of the end. And way up there, it's scary. Carrie is looking at me wondering, this guy lost his marbles. Why did I marry him? But 28 years, wow. 28 years that she hasn't figured out that, you know, she's not getting away from me. But again, that's the bridge. And you can see just in the amount of a couple of minutes that we've been here, There's been roughly about 10 to 15 cars coming across. It's crazy to think how busy this is. So I'm going to go back up the other side and show you a little more. Just watch your step there.
Just fall into the road. It's all good.
A lot of this ice runoff down there made it, I wanted to go underneath the bridge. We'll have to save that for another trip. If you've been to the Ashlua area and you know more about this bridge, again, leave some comments below, because it was interesting for me. I like doing these series of videos where you get to see. There's that $5 fine. Anybody wants to go into business with me, charging people $5, let me know. Let us hear the other side of that river. Of course, okay.
So pretty.
Yeah, this is one thing that we've learned.
Not the ocean, but it's pretty.
It is not the ocean, but equally beautiful. This is one of the things that we've learned over the past couple of years with all this pandemic stuff going on, that we continue to travel because we're self-contained, but it does make you appreciate some of the things that are right in your own backyard, whether it's here in New Hampshire, down in South Carolina, Florida, Tennessee, all the places that we've been this summer, or this past year for that matter, Key West.
Yep.
There's still something about driving 2 miles away from your home base and finding this. Yeah. But again, this is a video about bridges. So to give you a little more construction here. The interesting part about this bridge, as opposed to the other ones that we've seen today, is not so much carving in this one. There are some in here, but not like the others that we've shown you today, which is interesting. My understanding right is that when they built this bridge, there was a big party with a live band and dancing that the whole town celebrated this bridge.
All-nighter.
And it makes you think, as we watch the new bridge going from New Hampshire into Brattleboro, Vermont, that process, I believe they're saying it's a 5-year process, is starting. And it makes you wonder, will there be dancing? Probably not.
No.
Will there be a live band? No.
No.
Somewhere along the lines, I think we've gotten away from simple things like this as daily functions and stuff, how it brings communities together. It's pretty cool. Well, that's enough of my ramblings for today. If you made it this far in the video, again, we appreciate your time, your watching, and most importantly, we appreciate you subscribing if you feel so inclined. It doesn't cost Carrie anything, doesn't cost me anything, which is good, because I'm cheap, and it doesn't cost you anything, but it means the world to us. Anything you want to say?
No.
All right, well, that's it. We're going to go celebrate some more time together, and we'll catch you next week.